Hello, today we are going to talk about this device here. It's a Compumate. It was released in 1983 for the Atari 2600. And the idea of this, the market for this was basically people that already had the 2600, mostly kids, and probably for the parent to think about, okay, not just playing video games, but with this you can actually play music, compose music, learn about it, draw images, and also, most importantly, you could program it in BASIC, so you could learn how to program. I never heard about this thing before. At that time, I really wanted an Atari when I was a kid. I had the Odyssey 2, which wasn't that popular at the time, and actually the Atari was more popular, had more games, but I never ever heard about this thing. This is a gift from a very good friend of mine, which gave this to me. It's pristine new, and I couldn't wait to make a review of this thing. Let's see what is inside the box. So basically we have 60 kilobytes basic for easy programming. So we will count with this memory for programming. You can play music, and apparently you can even paint in up to 10 colors. And we turn it around and we have, the 60 kilobytes of built ROM basic and 2 kilobytes of RAM. Apparently you have some programs already installed, and you can even save your programs in a cassette. It has music capabilities, 2 channels, 2 octaves. I have no idea about music, but anyway, I think that means something for some of you. It can simulate the sound of piano, organ, some built-in songs, allows writing of songs and playback, allows editing the song, and songs can be basic on standard cassette tapes. Okay, that's pretty cool. Now, about the graphic capabilities, we have built-in Magic Easel program, no idea, 10 different colors, pictures are drawn by using keyboard controls, up to 6 pictures can be stored in memory for animation effect, 2 built-in demonstration pictures, and picture can be saved on standard cassette tapes. Well, let's take a look inside. These are advertisements for other cartridges that you can purchase. We had 7 different video games here. Yeah, that's pretty cool. And it's even more in the back. Then the manual, Spectra Video, Compumate User's Manual. And yeah, here we have the explanations. I still need to read it, but let's do one thing at a time. These are the cables for the cassette to store the programs. And here's the cartridge. You should take this out and put that into the Atari, and then plug these two in the joystick ports. So let's do that. Here is the Atari 2600, and this is the one I just restored. There is a video, if you want to watch it, where I took this Atari, it was in very bad condition, and restored it back to life. This thing fits very nicely here. So just look at that. It doesn't, almost doesn't move. Perfect. So let's put the cartridge in. Okay, that's it. And then the joysticks, right joystick here and left joystick here. Let's plug the power supply to the Atari. The keys have these feeling. Actually, they are flat, but they are not completely flat. So you can feel when you are typing. Of course, it's not the same feeling as a keyboard, but it is pretty good. Let's turn this on and see if it works. And here we are in the program mode. And it starts playing Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, and just press space. So basically we have a programming mode, which is this one. We have a music mode, and then we have a graphic mode. So I keep reading here the manual, and let's start with the music mode, which is what they suggest. I guess because at the time it was probably more interesting to start listening to some songs, some music. And so if you press function M, we end up in music mode here. So in here we have some songs already recorded, like this one, the previous one. Then long ago, Jingle Bells, and My Bunny. And we stop this with a space. And now, so here we have the different notes on the keyboard. And as you can see on the lower part, there is a cursor. It's showing you what is the note and what is basically the note that you press in that moment. So the manual suggests you to go and write all this song here, which I don't know if I'm going to write the whole thing, probably, let's see. But the thing is that to help you how to do that, so basically you do function N and you create a new environment, basically clears the memory. And then when you start doing the first note, so for example, let's do what the manual says here, do, and then we basically press space. When we do that, you see it moved up, so that line was recorded. And so we can introduce all the ones that we need based on here what the manual is saying. So let's try to do that. I made a mistake. So in order to delete that, you just do function D, and it's going to delete that one, and then do it again.
A few moments later.
So now I finished just inputting the song. So what we need to do is press here the L, which is autoplay, and we can listen to the song. Okay, I have no idea what that song was. And you also have a second channel where you can also introduce more notes. So now let's move into the graphics. From the music mode that we just press function and then graphic. And we're in graphic mode. The way it works is just you press draw, and then you can move here the arrows to just draw whenever you want. So if I start moving down, it's gonna start drawing something in that direction. And then you can just keep drawing. Now, if you want to delete, and just press K for erase, and you have to follow whatever you want to delete. Let's, for example, here, let's delete on here, and let's go up and deletes everything, right? Now, if I press draw, it's gonna again, basically start drawing again the direction that I want. Now, it has several colors, but it cannot draw different colors on the same screen. So basically what you do is just, now for example, you're in draw mode, and then press function. Here there are several colors. And then if I press, for example, function 4, you can see it changed to green. And if I want to change the background, I need to press space and then function and then the other color. For example, here, this is yellow, this is red, this is black. And maybe you don't see well that in the camera and how it's rendering the TV, but basically you get the idea. And so from here, then if I do draw again and I press again function, I can change the color of the lines that I draw. So it doesn't allow you to have several colors on the same screen, of course. This is a very limited machine. Now, if we want to start again, just function N and we'll reset. And it has a couple pictures there for you to see. So if just press 7. So we have the snowman here. Imagine the time that it took to just draw these if you wanted to do yourself in this way. And then 8 is a world map, which I guess I can draw here, I guess. Let's see if I press draw. Yeah, I can draw an island. And if I keep moving, so the thing is that now, what if I want to go to the other side? So I need to be careful because if I go here, I'm gonna start erasing. So I need to draw basically, and then go left. I think I draw up one more pixel anyway. So I keep moving there when I'm drawing, and then I move here, and then I do erase, and now I can move here, and now we can draw again that island I wanted to draw in the Atlantic. Okay, so basically as you have, then function N will clear up and you are back in business. Even if it's so basic as a program, it can be quite entertaining. So basically now, after making this masterpiece, you can actually save your picture in a cassette. So what I want to try, I don't have a cassette that can record this, but I'm going to try is plug this output into the computer and capture that with Audacity and see how it sounds. It will sound very similar to any other computer program recorded on a cassette, like from a Commodore 64 or a Spectrum or Atari and all of them. But in this case, because I don't have the cassette, I'm just kind of curious. I want to see how it sounds. I decided to use the same cables that came with the Compumate to be used with a cassette recorder. Unfortunately, I don't have a compatible recorder for the Compumate, but instead we can use this USB capture device. Then with an application called Audacity, we can record the output from the Compumate, and the data of that image will be encoded in the audio signal that then we can decode back to the image. And this is how it sounds like. There is a link in the description for you to download the audio file in case you have a Compumate and you want to see what the image looks like. And finally, now we have the programming mode. Basically, that's the one that you get when you just turn it on. Or if you are like here in the graphic mode, you just need to do function and then text. And here we are in the programming mode. What we use here is the programming language BASIC, which was very popular in the 80s. I have some videos about programming on the Commodore 64, which gives you an introduction of the basic programming language. Compumate supports most of all BASIC at the time, and you can do pretty interesting stuff. Of course, the graphical limitations of this machine are huge, so there is no really much you can do, but from a logical point of view, learning how to program, it's a good start. BASIC has several commands, and one of them is print. It's the most common, that is going to print something on the screen, so let's try to do that. It has shortcuts, as you can see here in the keyboard, so I can either type entirely the word print, or if I press function P, it will give you some sort of a shortcut, in this case PRT, which is going to be print. So now if I press Shift 0, it's going to give me the double quotes, and I can say hello and close the quotes. Keep in mind that here it is only limited to 12 characters. So for example, if I start typing characters, you see it goes immediately to the next line. It doesn't mean it's a new line, it's that it's only limited to 12 characters. If I press function space, I can delete and go back. And in total, the amount of characters that you can put in a basic line is 49. So if you create a long program, it could be very difficult to actually read what is in there. I think that's the reason they created the shortcuts, like for example, print, next, input, and all the other basic commands. So you have a little bit cleaner listing of your program. So if I press enter, it's going to print hello on the screen. Now let's write a simple program, and we start by line numbers. We're not going to cover basic here. It's just to give you an example. And so again, if I go, this is a shortcut, the print command, then quotes, and then if I say the same, hello, and enter, then we have a program. It doesn't print hello. If you go to function R, it creates run, and then press enter, and it's going to print hello. Now, if I type 20, go to back to line 10, what it's going to do is print hello and then goes back to line number 10 endlessly. So if we run this, it's just printing endlessly line 10, which is hello. If we want to stop the program, just function and the letter B, which is break. It's a shortcut for break. Press that and the program is stopped. We have also a shortcut for list, function K. In this case, it's list. You can also type list. It's going to work as well. Press enter, and it's going to show us our program. It takes a little bit of time to render every line of the program in the screen. I mean, this is very, very old machine, of course. And here we have our program. There are a lot more things we can do with this. Here in the instruction manual, we can see that we can declare variables, input variables from the user, like input data from the user. We have conditionals, we have loops, become functions. I mean, it's a lot of stuff we can do with this. Pretty interesting programs can be done. You can use a book like this, for example, basic computer games. I don't think you can run all of them because some of these are for more powerful computers, but it gives you an idea that some of these probably is possible to run on this machine. Well, there you have it. It's not a super powerful computer, of course, and at the time it was 1983, the year before the Commodore 64 was released, and the MSX and the Apple II was around as well. So, for example, especially the Commodore MSX, they were very cheap as well, but in an affordable market, basically. So I don't think many people probably just got those instead of this one, and probably that's why it didn't become so popular. But if you think about it, it was a very good idea because you get the people that already had the 2600 that was mostly used for just video games. And with this, you have something that is more like educational. So I guess that the market was targeting parents that would think that a little bit of an investment, they can have something that would be more educational for the kids. You cannot really use it for anything more than that. Although, yeah, you can program in BASIC, and the BASIC program that it has, it has all the things that BASIC can offer, but it's not the same as having a computer that you can do anything for business. For that, you will require something a little bit better. So probably that's the reason. Anyway, it was very entertaining to use. I had a lot of fun, and at the time, if I had one, I would really enjoy it. If you have a Compumate, let me know in the comments. And remember, I put the image, the audio file of the image on macycircuits.com. There is a link below here. So if you have one, maybe you can upload that image into yours. It's a very simple, basic, boring image. Totally safe for work, but don't expect any work of art. I have no idea, just a simple thing, and see if it works. If you have a cassette recorder that you can connect to that, then maybe you can just put it into the cassette and then load it, or maybe easier would be to just play it from the computer using the headphones as the input for the Compumate. But I don't know maybe if it was going to work, because depending on the cable, stereo, mono, and all that sorts of things. But anyway, just give it a try if you want to spend some time doing that. The image is nothing great, I'm just warning you. And let me know if it works for you. Thank you for watching.